morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. My eyes are watering.
Yeah, well, mine are, I don't know. It's literally. I woke up early.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, it's day number 2.
Day number 2.
So, I guess as far as things are concerned, we're probably all tired. I know the guys in the anglers are pretty tired. There are a few of them. Nate's wiped out, and he's just super tired. So, we're just gonna have to deal with this whole thing. So.
I got to get the boat camera going. So,
all right, let's do that. That's not a problem. I'm just gonna kind of I'll take Kurt out here, and I'm gonna run through real quick the live leaderboard. Matter of fact, I could just pop it up, and we could take a peek here. Max Sheets and Tyson Keller had a great day yesterday. They weighed 19.3 pounds, and they ended up having the big fish as well. That big fish for them, 9 pounds and at 9.4 pounds. I keep wanting to say 9.40, and the 9.4 pound fish was 29 inches long. And then we got Ben Brown and Chris Haynes in the number 2 spot with 12.94 pounds. Miller and Panzer in 3rd place with 11.59. Team Decker, 11.15 in that number 4 spot. Let me just listen here quick. All right, we've had a drizzle all morning. It's raining right now. So we're in Pierre, South Dakota. If you happen to be tuning in from somewhere else and don't know where we're actually at the amphitheater here, just behind it to the south, right on the lake's edge of Lake Sharpe. And then we've got a tie in 5th place. Let's jump right back into the leaderboard there, where Team Wolf sits at number 5, and Justin Cole and Melissa Daughtry are there as well with 10.02. Now we've got cameras in the boats today, and we're going to have hopefully have a great midday show like we had yesterday. We caught fish live, and that was kind of fun. Tanner Thompson mowed. Derek Meschke have a camera in their boat. Ryan Thompson's going to have a camera in his boat. We've also got Nick and Mason. So Nick Harrington and Mason Probst are going to have one again. They're kind of our standby. We call this their home lake. So we're glad to have them have a camera in their boat. Then Don Miller is going to have one, and then Justin and Melissa. So I'm super excited about Justin and Melissa having a camera. I haven't even seen them to say hello, and that was at Cedar Shore and here at Lake Sharpe. So it's their time. And I really wanted to talk to them yesterday because I was kind of curious to see if they had made their way down the river. And I really didn't get a chance to talk to a whole lot of people, and maybe Kurt did. And hopefully when Kurt comes back, we'll be able to find out whether or not there were a bunch of boats that drove south. We talked about that bad being pretty muddy and pretty ugly down there. The rest of the field, and I'll just pan down real quick and give you an opportunity to see the weights. There isn't a whole lot of weight between 2nd place and, as you see, 15, 16, 17, we get into 20th, and we click to the next page. The other cool thing is you'll notice that the leaderboard has a bigger font. It's easier to read, easier to follow along with. But look at all of the 9, 8, 7, 6 pound, 5 pound fish that, or not fish, but bags that were being weighed. And that was kind of the thought. We kind of had the thought that was going to be the deal. And so, I don't know what to expect today. The thing with the rain right now, we know that as far as the fish are concerned, they really don't know that it's raining. They're wet. It's raining. They're not going to get any more wet than they already are. Until they get pulled out of the water, then it's a whole different world for them. But could we have a big bag again today? We've got plenty of people that have the opportunity to bring in those big bags. We've got some Gov Cup winners that know how to fish walleye, and they know how to fish walleye in a big way. So it's 6:56. I'm not sure we're connected with the boat, but we promised the national anthem. So here it is.
and we're going to see
on the link that we've got, and I was kind of thinking that we had a little issue there, but this is the right show. I clicked on that link, and I'm going to try it now from a text once and just make sure that it allows me in.
Yeah, so we're looks like we got
but see, it's just me
you.
again. Okay, so here's I'm not sure what Nate's doing wrong, but I just clicked on the link I sent him 3 times and it popped me in right away. So I know that the link is right. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
So unfortunately we might miss the first takeoff, but they're going to go out in reverse order. Boat 44 goes out first. And we're going to send them out. They go from 7 to 3. Then from 3, then the second flight will leave at 7:15, fish till 3:15. We'll be live down here at Steamboat Park. Hopefully this rain goes away so we can get the crowd like we had yesterday. What a crowd. What a great Pierre is always, the community's always supported a ton of tournaments,
Right.
and literally the fan base in this town. Look out in the crowd and you just see all genres, and I know there's people in that crowd that have nobody in this tournament.
Right.
Yeah. It's super cool. So the other thing is that was a lot of fun yesterday is we had the skeet and 5-stand team running the fish for us. And them kids, high school skeet and 5-stand team, we did a couple different fundraisers over the last couple weeks for them to help offset the cost of their season. And if anybody has a kid shooting any shooting sports, understands the expense that goes into that, the shells, the clay pigeons, the rounds, all that different stuff. So we helped do some offset, and now we're getting, they're here helping us run some fish in return, which is awesome. And one of the kids last night looked at me and goes, "Hey, can I come in the morning?" And he's down there right now helping check boats.
Excited. Yeah, it is awesome.
He was down there.
Yeah.
It was awesome to have him. I think he'll probably want to come back to a few more. He's having a lot of fun, and the kids all had a great time, and they did great running the fish, taking care of the fish, making sure we got them all back in the water. We did lose 2. One was deep hook from early in the day. We knew we were probably not going to get that one back to go, but out of all the fish caught yesterday, we only lost 2.
That's pretty good. Yeah. It's hard to keep those fish alive all day. And at least it wasn't a crazy day on the water where they're getting smashed from one side to the next and in that live well. And
the anglers did a great job.
Yeah.
They did a great job taking care of their fish, and, brought them all up in water. And, and the weigh-ins were a little slow yesterday, but we're not at a normal setup. Cedar Shore, you'd come right out of the water, walk up in, a Gov Cup, same way. Here we're driving 10 blocks, they're driving 10 blocks to get here, and we don't want to hold them out in that parking lot. Maybe we should like the Bassmasters and have the kids shine the boats.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The kids shining the boats.
But so it's just one of those things. Like, you get the little lull in the stage, and we got some. We've done some talking, and we've got some work we want to change on what we're doing. But I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing. We're really trying to get more coverage of this. I feel terrible we don't have the live takeoff going right now. Hopefully we'll get in for the second flight. I can hear the boats rumbling already.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish we could get that video from yesterday. A friend of mine and local guy in the community who stood way downriver and watched them boats fly by. I think he tagged us on Facebook. So if you look on our Facebook page, you can see Byron Larson's post with our tag in it. Just go to the mentions and watch all them boats come downriver. He was a couple miles down from at the end of the chute at Downs.
Right.
Or behind the hospital there, and they were just ripping by him. It was pretty cool video. He got both flights, so go check those out. It's pretty cool. Byron to jump on and do that for us, and didn't expect it.
Right.
He sent me a couple texts with them in there. Maybe I can send the text to you, Brian, and
We'll see if we can
see if you can get them up
pop
here.
it up. I'll tell you what, we're going to take just a quick break, try to get Nate back on and see if we can't get this next flight going. So bear with us a little bit. We'll be right back.
So we're trying to get this up and going for you guys. We're terribly sorry. I see a few people fell off, which, hey, that happens. But, we're going to get these guys out. Most of the guys were pulling plugs yesterday. But,
yeah, right.
I did talk to a few of the guys this morning, said, we're not doing that today. We're going to pitch some jigs for them. I tried to get a camera in one boat, but they said no.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Because it's getting pretty competitive when you've got that 7 pound
almost
difference
7 pound
to
lead.
make up.
You got to make up. But look at MWC and Chamberlain. Roth and Danforth hung on by 3 ounces to take the win.
Yeah, right.
3. They
just
barely nudged it out. They had 15 pounds on day 1 and 7 pounds yesterday, and they barely nudged out the winners. So hopefully we can get these guys live for you guys here this morning and get them boats taken off. But if not, guys, we're gonna, like I said, did you go over the boats that we have live cameras in today?
Yes, I did, but we can most certainly do that again here. We can go over the leaderboard too, so everybody knows. Got Tanner Thompson mode, and Derek Meschke will have a camera in their boat. Ryan Thompson's going to have a camera in his boat, and then there's Nick Harrington and Mason Props, Don Miller,
David Panzer Jr.
And David Panzer Jr., and then Justin and Melissa. So Justin Cole and Melissa Daughtry. I'm excited to have them have one. Yeah, I'm very excited to have them have a camera because I haven't been able to connect with them from Cedar Shore to here.
Yeah, they are. So, they're a diehard fishing couple. Melissa keeps old Justin on the straight and narrow. We call her Mad Dog. She gets after it out there. But you want to talk about people that study and do their homework?
Wow.
Them two. Them two absolutely study and do their homework nonstop. So you can go to the leaderboard. We can see where they're sitting at. They're tied for 5th.
Yeah.
And that's the thing here on Sharpe. This is an ounces game. We're looking at, we weigh in pounds and decimals. And they're 1004. To give somebody the perspective that 1004 is half a penny.
Yeah, right.
That's what 04 is. Half of a penny. A penny weighs 0.88.
I didn't realize I was back on I was a little bit off. So 1002. That's why when you said 1004, I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
1002.
Like,
I'm just going off memory
on, so I can't see the screen really.
It's tough to see it, but they're right there. We do have that 19-pound outlier, but if you look at the rest of the field, nobody's really out of this. So nobody is really out of the game. And we're going to get some people coming in here. Oh, I got some pictures sent into us. So
Oh, good.
some boats taken off. Try to get those over to you, Brian, to get up on the screen. So Amanda Carroll's already they're already fishing. One team,
Oh,
I've
no
already got a
kidding?
picture of a team fishing. So
No
I
kidding.
mean, that's the great thing about Sharpe is they just take off and you're right here.
Right.
I mean, yesterday we were sending boats. You could watch in the background another boat floating down the river going. So pretty awesome for that. And you know, it just they don't got to make big runs here. There are guys
No,
making
yeah.
big runs.
Yeah.
I mean, in a big run, it's 30 miles, 40 miles downriver. Takes them a little bit of time. It's going to be a fun one in this rain. But they're bundled up. I'm sure Melissa's got her goggles on. You know, Pike Masters last weekend, it was cold, so I put my goggles on, and my wife was making fun of me, and I think she put something out there, and Melissa's first comment is game changer. Like
Yeah.
goggles are game changers.
Oh, yeah.
Helpful hint if you're a fisherman and you want to fish in adverse weather, have a pair of ski or snowmobile goggles in your boat.
Well, it makes a ton of sense,
And
really.
yeah, and I wear contacts, and it wasn't raining last weekend, but it was cold in the wind, and it was like overcast. So sunglasses weren't the right idea. So them goggles on kept my contacts from wanting to float right out of my eyeballs. So it works well. You know, you get out there and they're all sitting there. Benefit to them, the rest of my team could sit backwards on the boat.
Right.
I can't do that driving.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
And then we run
No
a big
doubt.
tri-tune for that stuff. So there's no windshield to get down behind. And, you know, even when you got that windshield to get down behind, sometimes if you look at these guys' boats are covered in graphs, so they really can't get behind it. They got to sit and look over top of it. So the goggles will change your life on a cold morning.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Matter of fact, I if I fished more, I think I'd make sure I had goggles in the boat. But I'm not going out and stuff like this.
Nah.
I'm not a tournament guy. I'm not that diehard a fisherman where I've got to go out in this kind of rain. And of course, these tournament anglers are going out because that's what they do. They don't care about the rain. Sure,
Oh, they care.
Don't, well, they don't. They don't like it, but their deal is, you know, they look past it.
Yeah.
And they endeavor to persevere, and the heck with okay, it's raining, whatever, we need to fish. And that's a cool thing because it's a different breed of person that can go out. Whether, you know, look at some of those guys with that 40-mile-an-hour wind on Cedar Shore.
They want to go.
They want to go. They whatever. We'll find a calm spot. We'll ride the waves and make it work. You look at the guys from the NWT that had to deal with the 2, 3, 4, and 5 foot rollers out on Erie. Yeah, okay, it was a pain in the keister, but they've got the big boats. They go out, they do it, and
I'm still blown away that term was won scoping.
Yeah, I was
in
surprised
5, 6
too.
foot waves.
I was very surprised.
Like I thought, day one, Hoyer came in with a good bag scoping. When that wind came up, I'm like, his scoping game is going to be brutal. And for people watching that don't understand that, you got to have your transducer in the water and your towing motor in the water to be able to see those fish and stay on those fish. And in that kind of waves, I don't care what kind of trolling motor you have on that front of that boat, it's out of the water.
Yep.
I guess unless you buy that new Garmin Kraken Ocean one that's 96 inches long, but that'll hit your windshield as you're driving.
Well, and some of those guys have the expensive poles that are, 6, 7 feet long. Yep. So they're getting down there and they're in the middle of the boat, a little easier to keep it in there. The thing that I really didn't understand about live on a windy day is the fact that if you can keep the deucer in the water, you really don't notice the effects that much. Yeah, there's some up and down, but the picture of the bottom, the fish on the bottom, they're still there. It's not like you're seeing this staggered video and all, things moving up and down.
Yeah.
That bottom is still there. It might move a little bit and you can see the fish moving, but it's not as treacherous as I thought it was going to be. We went out and tried it on a windy day just for fun because I thought it was going to be a crap show.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought that live deucer on a Tarova, on that Humminbird or that Minn Kota, and that whole going back and forth, I thought that was it gets a little detrimental, but when you stop that thing and you start searching, it's an amazing tool. It's truly amazing, and I just think it's a teacher. It's a great teacher. And it gives people an opportunity to learn and catch more fish. Those that dial it in, that use it to catch more fish, That's not by accident. That takes a ton of practice.
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
used mine a ton. I'm not an angler like Dewey or John or any of those guys.
Tyson. I mean,
Yeah,
Tyson.
right. You know, those guys,
These
it
guys
takes
spend
hours.
hours sitting in their garage, not even on the water. The time they put in sitting in their garage. And, you know, I've had more conversations about boat rigging this year. And people, what you don't realize is these new electronics. I mean, these 16s and 12-inch graphs take a lot of power. You have to have the right power. It has to be clean power.
Yeah.
And it's hours of rigging. And they think they get it right. And they go out and something's wrong. Then they go back and do it again. And the updates and staying on top of it. And I mean, most of these guys got enough electronics to land a space shuttle in their boat.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy.
That whole, I don't care if we had battery issues yesterday. And I talked to one fella that thought it was a battery. They kind of narrowed it down to the charger.
Yeah.
And bank 1 or bank 2. They've got a 3-bank charger. How do you know? You know, that's the other thing about hiding those chargers. If you don't see all of those lights blinking, if you plug it in and you just think it's going to work, you are leaving yourself to chance.
You know, speaking of that, that's the great thing about that gentleman was running Mega Lithium's, one of our sponsors. We carry backup batteries. So when he was down, we had a battery ready for him. Sent him home with a battery. He changed it out, called me and goes, it's not the battery. No, the charger. Normally we'd troubleshoot that and say, check your charger, put it on one of our chargers, this and that. But middle of a tournament, I just grabbed a battery and threw it to him. And yeah, he's up and running. You know, so
yeah, he was very appreciative.
If anybody needs any lithium batteries, reach out. You know, we got Mega Lithium is a great sponsor. Zach and the crew do a great job. So the best part is warranty. You deal with us. You know,
yeah, right.
You call me, I call Zach, and Zach has no questions. So he's a 10-year warranty, 100% replacement for 10 years, which is
a big deal. There are others out there that have those long time warranties,
but prorated.
But yeah, right. There are just you're finding out from owners of those other batteries that it's not as glamorous as they thought it was going to be. And that's the way it is with anything. But if you're going to run that power in your boat, you got to make sure you have the power, and it's got to be clean power, and you need to overdo it.
Double insulated, isolated wires.
Yeah. You know, don't.
And a helpful hint for everybody out there that's not this deep into it, with these new graphs, if you have them in your boat, you need their own dedicated power. If you have a radio hooked to that same battery, live well pumps, bilge pumps, anytime that kicks on, you'll see interference.
Yeah.
And you know, that's insane, you know, to think about. But these things are literally, it's just like our technology right now. We can't get the live on the water, you know, because of technology. Different than them graphs in the boat. One little thing goes wrong, and it's a pain in the butt.
And you're out. And so that's why you've got to do everything. Like for us, you know, we're at StreamYard's mercy.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I can connect on my phone, but Nate can't connect on his phone. So if you're going to have all that power in your boat, if you're running that factory 12 and 14 gauge wire, that's probably copper, you know, you got to go to the marine. It's tin, because copper is just not good on the water. It corrodes way too easy with all that moist air and the water. And you've got to upgrade. You know, if you're not 8 is not perfect, 6 is perfect. You know, but that 10 and that 8 gauge, that thicker wire, you got to do it. I tell you, even if you're running 2 Helix units or 2 Lowrance HES Lives, or if you're running 2 Garmins, if you're running 1, you're probably fine, but you are going to want to upgrade your battery.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got just a simple 12-volt battery, you've got your starter battery, you've got your home or your house battery, you know, well, I'll tell you what, you really need to look at that, and you got to look at the contacts. If you're just going from year to year and not cleaning the posts on your batteries, or even disconnecting stuff, because things happen in between, and you got to take a little emery cloth or Scotch-Brite or something, shine those up, get them back on, because it's pretty important. I don't know that we're going to be able to connect with Nate.
It looks like they're already probably all gone by this point. We're at 18 after. But guys, I do want to say one thing before we hop off. You know, big shout out to Chasen here for coming to all these events and doing all this media stuff. He takes so much pride in it. If he thinks one little thing's wrong, he's stressed about it. Like, I know this is eating him up. So hats off to Brian. Please go over to Chasen Walters Facebook page, give him a like, share him out, share it with your friends, build that media up. And I hope you guys like this. And
yeah,
we're going to come back on midday, hopefully have everything ready with all the cameras in the boat. And I hope we don't have the problems with them.
Right.
Because all of a sudden StreamYard wants us to download an app on our iPhones, which we've never had to do before. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, sorry about the not getting the boats out and you have to stare at our ugly mugs this morning, but
we tried.
At least we had some content here for you, and we'll have a midday report. We'll have this afternoon. So we're going to get to setting up. We got tanks to fill. We got the scale to set up. We got everything to get ready. So we'll be ready at 3:00. Probably coming to you live about 2:50. You'll see the stage out there, a little commentary from old Chasen here, and we'll get it going.
Yep. We'll get through. Don't forget about the noon midday show. We'll try to catch some boats out live. If it's raining, I don't know. I'm not going to promise anything on the midday show with hooking up with the cameras. If we've got the rain like we've got now, we'll see. So please stay tuned. We'll let you know what's happening. Thank you very much.
When I